stepped into a maximum security prison and learned the brutal rules that even guards don't dare to break. The second I stepped into a maximum security prison, I stopped being just me. I became part of a category. And in many US prisons, that category gets decided by something you have no control over: your race. Walk into the chow hall, and at first it looks like any cafeteria. Metal trays, plastic sporks, maybe a scoop of something that could pass for mashed potatoes. But if you pay attention, you'll see it. Every table is claimed, not by name tags, but by identity. White inmates sit with white inmates. Black inmates sit with black inmates. Latinos, Asians, each group has its own space. These invisible borders are more serious than any wall. The guards don't enforce this. It's all internal. An unwritten, ironclad law set by the inmates themselves. If you're new and you sit at the wrong table, even by mistake, you're taking a risk you don't want to take. Best case, someone warns you. Worst case, your tray hits the floor and you're in a confrontation before you've even taken a bite. Why does it happen? In a place where trust is currency and alliances mean survival, you stick with people who share your culture, your language, and your sense of loyalty. It's not always about hate, it's about order. In a locked-down world where chaos is just under the surface, your group is your shield. You back them, they back you. The guards know about it. Some even quietly admit these divisions keep the violence predictable. Everyone understands the rules, and as harsh as they sound, those rules create a kind of structure. Breaking that rule isn't just about trying to make a new friend. It's seen as a challenge, a statement. It shakes up the order, and that can make other inmates think you're naive, reckless, or worse, disrespectful. On the outside, bumping into someone's tray in a cafeteria might just earn you an awkward glance. Inside a maximum security prison, it can cost you your safety. In here, food isn't just fuel, it's control, status, and one of the last things a person truly owns. That makes it sacred. If someone reaches across my tray, picks at my bread roll, or even stares too long at my dessert, that's not just annoying, it's a challenge. And everyone watching knows it. There are no takebacks, no, just kidding. Whether it's a boiled egg or a pack of dry noodles, prison culture treats it like private property, with an invisible electric fence around it. Even with my own cellie, there are rules. If I leave half a sandwich on the table, he better not touch it unless I clearly offer it. We don't joke about food in here, we don't share unless there's trust. And no one wants to look weak or like they're begging. I've seen guys go hungry rather than ask for a bite. It goes even deeper. Food is currency. A pouch of tuna, a scoop of instant coffee, a packet of drink mix. These can buy favors, protection, even phone time. So if you touch my food, it's not just disrespect, it's like grabbing my wallet. And wallets don't get touched in prison. Same reason you'll never see me or anyone reach over the tray line for extra unless they're ready for trouble. The kitchen workers, who are often inmates too, have their own rules. Cutting in line or grabbing a double portion? That means you're either bold, backed by a crew, or dangerously clueless. In here, small actions become big statements. And one of the loudest statements you can make, whether you mean to or not, is touching what isn't yours. That's why my rule is simple: keep your hands to yourself and your eyes on your own plate. You might think prison is full of guys swapping crime stories, bragging about the wild things they did to end up here. That's mostly a movie myth. In a maximum security unit, asking another man what he did to get locked up isn't just nosy, it's dangerous. Everyone inside knows this rule. If I ask someone about their charge, especially if they didn't bring it up first, I'm taking a risk, even a casual. So what are you in for? Can sour a conversation instantly. There are a lot of reasons for that. Some men carry deep shame over what they did. Some swear they were falsely accused. Some are just trying to bury the past. And others, they don't want to give anyone ammo, something to judge them for, use against them, or turn into rumors. In here, every detail can be weaponized. That silence about personal history creates a fragile balance. The less I know, the safer I am. If someone decides to tell me their story, that's their choice. But if I start prying, I'm basically waving a red flag that says I'm suspicious, maybe even a snitch fishing for information. And once that label sticks, it's hard to shake. What makes it trickier is that not everyone plays by the same rules. Some guys will tell you their whole case. Others will lie or change the story depending on who's asking. That's why the old-timers always say, watch what people do, not what they say. TV shows like Prison Break or Orange is the New Black make it look like everyone's trading stories like it's therapy hour. Reality? I've gone years without really knowing the guys in the next cell, and I'm fine with that. In prison, information is like fire. If you control it, it can help you. If you let it get loose, it can burn you to the ground. That's why my rule stays simple. Don't ask, don't dig, don't assume. The less I know about others, the less they'll want to know about me. Outside prison walls, eye contact can mean confidence. Inside, it's a whole different language. A glance can say hello, start a fight, or seal an alliance, without me ever opening my mouth. In here, my eyes speak before I do. In maximum security, there's no such thing as a casual stare. Hold someone's gaze too long, and it might be seen as a challenge. Look away too quickly, and it could be read as fear. Either one can get you marked. That's why I learned to fast keep my focus tight, my movements minimal and my head on a swivel, but never too obviously. Sometimes even glancing in the wrong direction can cross an invisible line. If a guy's in the middle of a heated conversation or working out with his crew and I glance over, it can look like I'm eavesdropping or disrespecting his space. That's when tensions rise, especially if other people are watching. It's not always about threats. Sometimes eye contact is deliberate, a signal to my crew, a warning, or a silent check-in. Just like in poker, keeping a blank expression is a skill. In here, it's a survival tool. Some of it depends on where you are. Different states, different facilities, each one has its own unwritten rules about what's acceptable. But the general rule never changes: know your surroundings and don't stare unless you're ready to deal with whatever comes next. Even the guards notice when things are shifting. If a stare down lasts too long, the tension in the unit spikes. Some prisons even have surveillance systems trained on inmate interactions. They know plenty of fights start with eyes, not fists. It's like a scene out of The Wire or Sons of Anarchy. Tension builds in silence, then erupts without warning. In here, there's no script and no safe retakes. Learning the language of eye contact is just as important as knowing who controls which tier. Misread it, and you might be the one everyone's watching next. In prison, everything has a price. A bag of chips, a stamped envelope, a haircut, even a scoop of flavored drink mix. But here's the thing, if I take without giving back, I'm not just in debt. I'm in danger. Debts in here aren't like bills on the outside. There are no payment reminders, no grace periods. You don't miss a deadline, you break a code. And in this world, that code gets enforced with fists, not polite conversations. Borrow something once and people start watching. They're not measuring the size of the loan, they're measuring whether I can be trusted to pay it back. It's a system built on trust, but with sharp edges. If I ask for something small, a snack, a roll of toilet paper, a battery, and don't repay, it might not turn violent right away. But word spreads fast. Inmates talk. Reputations harden. Before I know it, no one's willing to help me, and worse, some might see me as an easy target. There's a darker side, too. Some guys offer help just to set a trap. They'll toss me some noodles or slip me a few stamps, then later hit me with demands that have nothing to do with the original loan. Now I don't just owe them the items, I owe them obedience. That's how manipulation starts. That's why I never accept anything I didn't ask for. If someone drops something on my bunk or slides a pack under my door without explanation, I don't touch it. It's never just a gift. Even friendly bets can get dangerous. A little wager over a basketball score or a hand of cards can turn into a serious problem if I lose and can't pay. Debts in here aren't about money, they're about power, leverage, and survival. And the more I owe, the less control I have. On the outside, debt collectors might knock. In here, they don't knock, they act. My golden rule, if I can't pay it back immediately, I don't take it. Not even once. It sounds simple. Wake up, grab my towel, take a shower. But in prison, nothing is simple, especially not hygiene. The shower isn't just about getting clean. It's a high-risk zone full of unwritten rules, unspoken agreements, and the potential for conflict at every turn. Timing is everything. If I go at the wrong hour, I'm stepping into someone else's routine. Cut in line, even by accident, and I could start an argument in one of the most vulnerable spaces in the whole facility. That's not where I want to make enemies. Personal space is sacred in the shower area. There are no curtains, no dividers, no privacy. So respecting boundaries isn't optional. If someone's washing, I don't walk behind them. I don't talk unless they talk first. I don't make eye contact. I get in, wash fast, and get out. Loitering? That's asking for trouble. Some days I shower alone, some days in a group, depending on the mood and the setup. But just like in the yard or the chow hall, there are territories. Certain corners are claimed. Certain showers are off limits unless I've earned the right to use them or have the backing of the right people. And hygiene itself? If I'm dirty, smelling bad, or ignoring the basics, people will notice. And in here, that doesn't just mean they avoid me. It could mean they confront me. hard. There's a discipline to prison hygiene, and anyone who breaks it gets corrected quickly. There's a rhythm to it all. Regulars know the best times to go, when to stay away, and who to avoid. It's an unspoken schedule that keeps things running smoothly, until someone disrupts it. And just like with food, borrowing soap or towels is tricky. If someone hands me a bar or a bottle, I'd better know them well, or be ready for them to want something later. In a place where control is rare, the shower offers a tiny slice of normal. But that slice comes with rules, and if I break them, I pay for it. From the outside, the prison yard might look like a break from the tension. Basketball courts, workout stations, concrete benches. But I've learned not to let the open air fool me. This isn't recess. The yard is one of the most controlled and political places in the entire facility. Every section of the yard is claimed. That bench over there? It's not empty, it's reserved. That weight rack? Controlled by a certain group. Those stairs by the wall? Off limits unless I'm affiliated. If I step into the wrong space, I'm sending a message, whether I mean to or not. Even sports here are political. If I join the wrong pickup game, I might be accused of crossing lines I didn't even know existed. Play too hard, get too physical, or celebrate too loud, and suddenly I'm a target. The rules are subtle, but everyone who matters knows them. There's a clear pecking order when it comes to workouts. Some yards run on strict routines. Sets are timed, spots are shared based on seniority, and certain areas belong to gang reps only. The wrong person lifting in the wrong spot can shut the yard down, or worse. New guys often get tested here, not always with fists, sometimes it's silent. You sit somewhere open and wait to see if someone tells you to move. How you respond says everything. Comply too fast and you look soft. Refuse and you look disrespectful. It's a tightrope. Fights happen in the yard more than anywhere else. Fewer cameras, fewer guards, more open space. That makes it the perfect spot to settle disputes, fast and without an audience. That's why some days I just walk the track alone, steering clear of the politics. Other days I stick close to my group, claiming ground, watching everyone. Pop culture loves to show the yard as chaotic or wild. The truth? It's the opposite. It's strict order, just not the kind written in any rule book. It's all about history, reputation, and control. So when I'm in the yard, I know this every inch has a meaning. Every look, every move, every step counts. There are few labels in prison that carry as much weight or as much danger as snitch. Once people think I'm talking to guards, sharing information, or pointing fingers, my time inside just got a whole lot more dangerous. Even a short conversation with an officer can spark suspicion. I could be asking about my mail, but if someone sees me talking too long, the rumors start. And once they do, clearing my name is almost impossible. That's why I never speak to guards unless I absolutely have to. Not for favors, not for information, not even to report a theft. It's not the staff I'm worried about, it's what happens after the door locks and the lights go out. Snitching isn't just telling on someone. It can mean testifying, giving up names, or even being seen as cooperating with an investigation. I've seen guys get targeted just because their paperwork wasn't clear and others assumed the worst. This rule is enforced by every group. It doesn't matter what race you are, what you're in for, or where you're from. Snitching crosses a universal line. Break it and odds are you'll end up in protective custody, shipped to isolation, or moved to another facility, if you're lucky. There are rare exceptions. Some prisons have non-affiliated yards, where guys who left gangs or turned informant live in separate units. But even there, the stigma follows you. In pop culture, snitches get stitches gets tossed around like a joke. In here, it's not funny. It's the fastest way to end up completely alone. Or worse, surrounded for all the wrong reasons. So when I keep my mouth shut, even when I've been wronged, it's not about loyalty to criminals. It's about survival in a place where silence is safer than the truth. Every emotion I show inside a maximum security prison sends a message. And weakness? That message spreads faster than anything else. Crying, panicking, or showing fear might feel human, but in here there's signals, and predators are always watching. I learned this almost immediately. Walk in with nervous eyes, slouched shoulders, or a shaky voice, and the shift is instant. People notice. Some will test me. Others will try to take advantage. Not always with violence, sometimes with manipulation, coercion, or pressure. It starts small, but it never stays that way. Even injuries get hidden. If I twist an ankle, I limp in silence. If I get sick, I keep it to myself unless it's critical, because in here looking vulnerable makes me a target, not just physically, but mentally and socially. People avoid weak links, or worse, they exploit them. That's why I've built a stone face. No reactions, no outbursts, just a flat tone. a tight jaw, and steady hands. It's not an act, it's armor, and I've built it one long day at a time. Of course, that pressure stacks up. Some guys break down behind closed doors, but never in public. There's a clear line between private emotion and public control, and those who survive the longest know exactly where to draw it. TV dramas sometimes get it right. The toughest guys aren't the ones yelling or throwing punches. They're the ones who show nothing. Even when everything is falling apart, they keep the mask on. Because they have to. In here, strength isn't about being the loudest or the biggest. It's about staying calm when everything is designed to break you. And if I let my guard down even for a second, there's always someone ready to see just how far they can push. Gangs in prison aren't like clubs I can walk away from. They're not part-time affiliations. Once I'm in, that's it. Leaving isn't just hard, it's dangerous. Sometimes it's deadly. When I was new, I saw how fast the approach could come. Sometimes it's subtle, a friendly conversation, an offer of protection, a shared meal. Other times it's direct join up or deal with the reality of being on your own. Either way, that first yes can follow me for years, even after I'm released. Gangs offer structure, they give safety, influence, and connections. But none of it is free. If they protect me, I'm expected to pay it back, through favors, tasks, or much heavier assignments. And once I've done those things, walking away isn't an option anymore. Some facilities are so tightly run by gang structures that even the guards know which group controls which tier. Everything from phone use to workout times can fall under gang politics. If I am affiliated, I follow their rules, not the prison's. I've seen guys try to drop out, to go inactive. Most of the time, they have to be moved to protective custody or sent to yards for ex-gang members. And even then, their past has a way of catching up. That's why a lot of older inmates warn the younger ones think twice. What looks like protection now is really a lifelong contract, inside and out. Joining a gang might seem like the easy route at first, but the price is steep, and the exit? Most of the time, it's sealed. After lights out, the noise of the day fades away. The shouting, the clanging, the constant movement, it all disappears. What's left is silence. And in prison, that silence means something. It's not just about getting sleep, it's about respect. Talking loudly at night breaks that invisible peace. Even if I'm just laughing with my cellie or venting about my day, the sound carries. Thin walls, open bars, echoing halls, everything travels. And there's always someone who's on edge, someone who's exhausted, someone who's just waiting for a reason to snap. In here, sleep is survival. It's the only real escape. Take that from someone and you're messing with their sanity. That's why I treat nighttime like sacred time. If I have to speak, I whisper. And if I snore, cough too loud, or make noise without meaning to, I know I'll get told. Once. More than once? I'll find out quick that sleep isn't the only thing people lose patience over. I've seen fights start because someone banged their bunk too hard, flipped pages too loudly, or rustled bags late at night. Even the guards keep things quieter after lockdown. Night shifts are calmer, more focused. Any sudden noise is taken seriously. It could mean trouble. That's why loud inmates stand out. And standing out isn't what you want after dark. Sure, there are exceptions, emergencies, movement calls, but outside of that, the rule stays the same after lights out. Zip it. No speeches, no stories, no drama. Because in a place where I control almost nothing, sleep is one of the few freedoms I have, and no one forgives you for stealing it. Tattoos in prison aren't just ink, they're a language. Every symbol, number, dot, and letter means something. Some mark the group I'm with, others show criminal rank, time served, or acts I've committed. And if I wear something I haven't earned, I'm inviting trouble. There's no tattoo shop menu in here. Every line carries weight. A small crown might tie me to a major gang. 3 dots under the eye could mean I live by a certain code. A teardrop can have multiple meanings, and not all of them translate the same way from state to state. Misread one and I could start a fight without even knowing it. Some tattoos aren't just chosen, they're earned. They come only after I've done something to deserve them. Flashing a mark without completing the task it represents? That's disrespect in here. And people don't forget, or forgive, that. Copying is just as dangerous. Just because I saw a design in a movie or online doesn't mean it's safe to wear. Symbols change meaning depending on where you are and who's around. A number that looks random to me might be deadly serious to someone else. And when another inmate sees it, they're not going to ask questions first. I know guards sometimes document tattoos to track affiliations, but they don't always catch the meaning. What looks like harmless art to one person might be a signal to someone else. That's the danger, both inside and out. Because gang politics don't stop at the gate. Even placement matters. Neck, face, hands, those are high visibility zones. Get marked there and you're making a statement. One you'd better be ready to stand behind. That's why my rule is simple: if I haven't earned it and I don't understand it, I don't wear it. Ink fades, the meaning doesn't. In prison, my word is my identity. It's not backed by a resume or a credit score, it's backed by consistency. If I say something, I'd better mean it. If I make a promise, I'd better keep it. Because once I'm caught lying, that label doesn't fade. It spreads. One broken word can shut every door. People stop trusting me. They stop dealing with me. In a place where loyalty and honesty are survival tools, being known as a liar is like carrying a target on my back. Even small lies, exaggerating my case, making up connections, can snowball into serious consequences. If I claim I'm not affiliated, I'd better not be. If I tell someone I've got their back, I'd better show up. My actions are always under a microscope. One false move and I'm labeled unreliable, which in here is worse than being disliked. Respect isn't earned by talking tough, it's earned by being real. I speak less and follow through more because in this world, my word is my last line of defense. Lose that and I'm on my own. That's about it. What other prison rules do you know? Write in the comments. For more useful information, watch other videos.